Welcome to another episode of Unhinged and Immoral. We have a very, very, very special guest with us. And since you are from the old great state of California, I'll allow you to introduce our guest today.
Guys, this is Kamaiyah. She was like, "Don't you know a little bit more about?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. Me and my brother definitely do. We're gonna drink it out the bottle. We're drunk to this day." So I was definitely super excited about this. Just so everyone has like a bit of background, Kamaiyah and us, we share the same publicist who, if you keep up with my content, is Belize. I'm also a mentor for her nonprofit, Millennial Maven, and Belize is like all of the things like Black Girl Magic, right? So it makes so it makes sense that she would also be having Kamaiyah on her roster. So Kamaiyah, can you tell the people, give them an intro to you if they're not from California, if they don't know like your influence, what
Oh
you rap
shit,
about.
I'm just like the Missy from Oakland, I guess. That's what they say.
And I am from Sacramento. I don't really Oakland is not my favorite city in the Bay, but but y'all
Disrespectful.
guys do have cousins from Oakland for sure.
Same.
Yeah, no, same for real. But
know a little bit about Oakland.
Yeah.
We know how y'all get down over there.
Good people.
You know what? I feel like everyone from Oakland has a good heart at their core.
Mhm.
I feel like Oakland has a reputation that rich men should really have. Like
Rich what? Rich man.
like, oh, y'all is kind of scary. Like, no, them not the people you definitely should think. So we just wanted to get with you and ask, do you have like any projects coming out? Like, what's new? What should we be looking out for? What are you doing? What are you up to?
Right now I'm working on a project called Fired Up, so I just kind of been releasing singles. This year I'm trying to go for like 6 or 7 projects, honestly, because I'm independent and I just feel like the game changing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not in everybody's face all day, they forget about you. So the
Yeah.
best way to stay in their face is more content.
So actually, that's so because we were literally with Kimi Casanova like 2 hours ago, and
Mm-hmm.
he was talking to us about like TikTok because like we do TikTok and stuff, and we are kind of talking to him about like he was like, how y'all do TikTok? Like I'm obviously he was like, I live mostly on Instagram, that's where I get most of my shit, and like it really is one of those things where you just really have to be like, hey guys, I'm doing this. Hey guys, I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, I'm doing this. And I know it does seem a little bit irritating if you're not naturally someone who is like gonna pull out your phone, but I do think there is value in letting people know when you're doing shit so that they can
It's
like
hella invasive for me personally. Like
Yeah.
I don't like people in my business all day, but I feel like people want to be in your business all day. So I'm learning how to do it at my standard.
yeah.
They want to keep up with you, and I think it's funny watching the new wave of artistry change as far as how it translates to your audience, because before there was an entire marketing department to kind of help push a lot of y'all's sound, but now so much is relying on social media. So how do you feel like you're able to weigh the balance between promoting yourself and being able to shout out the things that you're doing, but also keeping that boundary of keeping your private life private?
I don't know. I just feel like I come from like the old school because I was born in the '90s. So it's like we still got that fine balance, but we don't cater to going viral. I feel like
Right.
the new
So that's like
kids, that's like the Gen Zs and shit.
yeah.
Everything about them is virality. So it's like, what can I do for shock value marketing? Well, us is about, all right, what do I have to do to position myself in the market share to make money and get the fuck offline? So I feel like that's like the difference with the philosophies out of the way niggas move in my age group.
I think we were born in 96 and we definitely, I would say for shit show, when we like were first making TikToks, I used to tell all my business, but then like now, obviously like we're closer to 30 than we are to 20. And so pulling back and being like, I don't really want to shine my business like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why y'all give a fuck about what I'm doing, who I'm with? Hold on.
Yeah.
Like, not giving people the same feeling that they're tapped in with you all the time, but being very selective about what you're letting them tap in with. And that's something that like I think for the people a couple years older than us who was also born in the 90s, I always try and say like, what is stuff that you don't mind people knowing about you? Like what is stuff like, okay, if you at the motherfucking ooh off the bam, You can tell me that. Girl say like whatever. They don't need to know like who you're with, why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I think it's the feeling with the audience making them feel like they're with you. And
do you feel like you're still able to stay connected to your audience even though you kind of pull back a lot from sharing certain personal moments? Do you feel like you're able to connect a lot with them?
Yeah, I just feel like the people who want to know, they gonna figure out. They gonna find your brother Instagram. They gonna find, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If they a real supporter of you, they be figuring shit out.
for
I was like,
sure.
how you even find this person? Like they just that's what they do.
Yeah,
they found a YouTube page we made when we were 19.
yeah,
And we said,
and we never mentioned it.
We never mentioned that. I don't know how the fuck y'all did that. That was
nosy.
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So since you're independent, is that something that was an intentional decision for you, or do you?
Absolutely,
Okay,
1000%.
yeah. Do you want to maintain that independence?
Honestly, I feel like my biggest thing is retaining ownership. It's not all about being independent. If
Yeah.
I find the right partner that makes sense for me and it's viable, I don't see any issue with me merging with them. But right now, I haven't found a sufficient partner, so I'm just doing me.
I feel that. I think it's interesting. So my best friend is a rapper.
Oh, this is sorry.
Go ahead.
That's the Russell Peoples. I call him
You're all
back.
So my best friend is a rapper, and she's just kind of starting to get her, her feet wet within the industry and trying to figure out what her next move should be. And we have this very same conversation of, do you stay independent? Do you merge? Do you do this? What is that thing? And I was telling her, it's interesting that you're coming up in a time where a lot more people are independent than have ever been before. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
if you ever wanted to be independent, now is the time. Like, and I'm even seeing like with Make the Stallion, like she's independent, but she has like a management deal. Like they're changing like what we used to know of the 360 deals of the you locked in forever, welcome to death row. Like it's not
cash money.
Yeah.
There's so much more leeway with the artist, and I feel like because you're able to do a lot of self-promotion with social media, it has changed a lot of your dependency needing to be with like these major labels and things. So I'm always really admired by the artists who maintain a level of independence, hitting the ground running, pushing those projects. Like it's hard to do.
It's just harder when it's self-funded, but at the end of the day, it's like when you retain your ownership, you can position yourself to do different type of deals that's lucrative for you. Like I can auction off an album or two and get 250, and I have to keep 30% of the earnings, and they recoup on the 70% for 2-3 years, and then you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so many different options you can do versus when you on a label. If you take 150, 250 advance, that's a bank loan you stuck until they make 10 times that damn near because they're gonna invest so much money into you to get that 150 back by the time you realize that you owe them $2-3 million.
Yeah. And not to mention, if you're not a lawyer, good luck reading those contracts. They don't make them easy to understand. And it's like, it sounds good, and it's like, then on top of that, if you wanted to enlist a lawyer, then you have to pay the lawyer's fees. And now they want this, and then now they want that. And we see the same in like the other industry of acting, you see all the glitz and glams of actors, but then it's like, well, they have to pay their management, their agent, their makeup artist, stylist, all these other things, and it's
The
like
same shit with rappers. Shit, you see me? I say I don't got no makeup on. I don't feel like getting up to do that shit. I don't care. Y'all got to see me how I am today, like because it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Like makeup be 150 and up just to do a face to see what you are there. $750.
That's the minimum, and that's to come to their shop. Don't let them travel.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
When I last time I was in Atlanta and said,
Yeah,
okay.
it gets like that, and now that we're inching into the level of where we actually need to like branch out and have a team, it's like, okay, everybody costs money.
And you gotta give people a piece of everything you do. It's like,
and then I think wanting to pay people and not wanting to have the rep of like, oh, they don't pay people, because that's like please don't get on here and say I don't pay nobody, please.
Like, oh my god, I do have a reputation to uphold.
A little 150s out. I'm sorry.
I do have a slight messy question.
Okay.
But we would not be unhinged no more if we did not get just a little bit messy. Being a female rapper, do you feel the pressure to hold on tight to the influence of the Nicki Minaj?
Honestly, like I've always been so left field. I've never been a person who had to even comment on nothing she has going on. I'm the one person I feel like she don't give a fuck about Nikki, me and Nikki have had encounters. You got to remember, I was signed to YG. I was on set for the Big Bang video. I've met Nikki. I
Yeah.
don't feel like I'm a opposing threat to what she has going on, or I'm coming for her. Like, a
Yeah.
lot of the girls get in the game and they be like, I idolized her, I this, that, and the third. And then when they don't get what they want, now it's an unfavorable situation on both sides because now the bar is attacking your ass. And you
Yeah.
hold on for dear life fighting for
We
whatever
both
you
been
thought you
boxed by
had.
Barbs. And I
Yeah.
said, listen,
The Barbs are serious.
my brother has a gun,
people.
so y'all go to that house if you want to.
And I don't really have nothing negative to say about her, or don't feel any type of nothing about that, because I don't feel like we
Okay.
walk the same path. Like, we obviously we both respect the same person. Lil Kim is very, you can see it.
Yeah,
But
for
as
sure.
far as like me, I just feel like I just do me. Like, I'm more of I was influenced by TLC and certain shit,
I
Leah.
was
So
gonna say,
my fashion is more of a
you
Missy reminiscent. That's why I think they get the Missy essence from. Because really,
yeah.
I'm trying to dress like TLC or what the fuck I saw. But
Yeah.
Missy was the only other girl in hip hop who did that.
Yeah.
So it's like they be just instantly, oh, you remind me of Missy, and I'm like, I don't get it, but I get it, I guess.
Yeah. No,
So
I can understand that. It's the female rap generations is it's been very like there were a few and then there was one and now there's so many, and so I think automatically now when there's a female rapper coming up, it's immediately they're trying to put you in a box of those groups, and I think it's limiting, and I think it automatically puts for the new girls, especially the new feminine girls who want to be bold in their sexuality, they're immediately tied to Nicki Minaj and Lil Kim whether they want to or not, and I think it puts them in
they do that intentionally though. Like, y'all come to the game, like, kissing ass, hoping
Mm,
she do something for y'all, and then she don't do something. Then now it's, oh, fuck her, and then the Barb's attacking you, and you wonder why. Like, it's a game people play. Like,
I
y'all
was
come to the game
it's
basically
definitely
penny
a
pinching,
trap.
trying to basically kiss ass into a feature, or you know what I'm saying? Oh,
very
everybody's favorite line was, I always looked up to you. Did you really though? Like,
oh
that's the real question that you gotta ask. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people just be saying shit for clickbait or to get a feature. So it's like, shit, I'm not a person who will never not work with her, but I'm also not the person that's over here just up her ass every day, you know?
I
I
mean,
respect what she's done
personally,
because she upheld the business for so many years, but
yeah.
that's not my only influence, and it's not the end all be all for me. And so many other great women in the entertainment business besides just hip hop.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say like I'm familiar. I'm obviously familiar with your music, and that's not necessarily like the avenue of female rap I would have put you in. Like you said, a
Mm.
TLC, a Missy, a Queen Latifah, MC Light. Like I feel like those are the women that you are more in line with. Not just because of like the bars, but also because you kind of like you could sing too. Like, and I'm not saying that to be in a shady way, but I do feel like Nikki does not really sing in the
Yeah,
way of
that's
like
not shade.
rap
Just
and
yeah, it just
sing
is
like
what it is. Yeah.
going back and forth. I think it's fair to say there are different genres and there are different like styles of rap. I mean, the niggas are allowed to have so many different styles of what they do,
Right.
and I think the really irritating part about female rap, especially with like the beef of it all, is that
Yeah.
and while I'm really happy Doechii is out and like really mixing shit up,
Yeah,
is
really shaking
because
shit up.
there is so many different types of styles that bitches could be going. Excuse me, women could be women could be going through. You know,
Yeah.
not everyone has to be like pink wigs, guns. I'm pretty. Da 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 da. Like it can be real different. And that's why I always appreciated your music, because I feel like, okay, why always hating? Like, it was just something different at the time when everyone was sounding the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't be trying to cater to nobody, honestly. I just do me. And I also respect everybody who came before me. So I just feel like it makes my life a lot more easier. Because I'm
mm,
not going out here kissing
Yeah.
ass, and I'm also not disrespecting people. So it just makes
For
my life
sure,
easier.
for sure. So if you had to pick 3 people that you would want to do a feature with in the future, who would those 3 people be?
Erykah Badu, Future, Mariah Carey, I guess. That'd be my 3.
That just told me so much about you.
see, exactly. That's why I was saying rapping, but like the singing, like you appreciate the
Yes.
singing.
Because clearly there's a solstice element, right? I do. But then you said future, so I know you ain't shit.
That's fucked up.
A bit of toxicity.
There's a little bit of that, and then
Nah,
Mariah.
I just admire his creativity and his artistry. I think he's a very talented individual.
Okay.
And nobody can negate that. Like, as much as you may not favor his lifestyle, his
Yeah.
music is his music, and it's good. So
Especially his old stuff. His old stuff is solidified. Like, yeah, he was really like that back in the day. He was really like that back in the day, for sure, for sure.
Is there anyone in Northern California that you would collaborate with currently?
Everybody that I'm supposed to collaborate with, I done already did it. So shit.
Oh, period.
Ain't nobody coming up that I want to do no music with because I don't like the shit they talking about. I don't really too much entertain all that killer shit. Like that ain't me.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I do see a tide shifting. I think just generally speaking, we're all kind of like, like, all right, guys, we've killed enough. You know, we just might have enough. Shoot 'em up, bang bang. Let's sip on this scissor. I think we have.
You know what? I take that back. Her, I do music with her. I haven't done a song with her.
Okay, and hers from Vallejo, right?
Yeah, I do music with her, but we never ever crossed paths. Like as ironic as it is, for me to damn near be on my 10-year tenure and this shit. Like I've never seen Gabby, and me and her used to literally live right across the street from each other.
Oh,
like how I'm looking out the window on my lake, I could point to her house right there. It was that close.
Okay. Are you more in? Do you spend more time in like the Bay, or do you spend more time in LA?
I live in the Bay right now. So I when I was in LA, I lived in Marina Del Rey, and she lived across the street from me because I had a stylist who worked at Champion. And she was like, "You know Gabby?" I'm like, "Who the fuck is Gabby?" She's like, "Her."
Yeah.
She's like, "You know she lives right there." She's like, "I was telling her like you can see Yaya house from right here. That's Yaya house." But we just never ever just crossed paths to have a personal conversation.
Yeah. She's like one award away from a Tony. Like,
she's very talented.
Very talented.
I think she's extremely talented.
Hit on her, and she can play the hell out that guitar.
I was actually on TikTok, kind of like talking about how small Northern California is, and how when Kehlani and I are mutual. I've been known Kehlani since I was in middle school, just because of like, you know, like in NorCal, and then also a little bit Sacramento. You know, it's not the Bay, but people get confused. But like, you know who's popping in like them cities. And my father's from San Francisco. I spent like a lot of time going back and forth. Do you feel like, this is another local drama question. Do you feel like the back and forth between being a little bit older, because there's always a whole thing, Sacramento want to be the Bay want to be Sacramento, do you feel like the cities or the areas are influenced by each other, or do you feel like one is being more influenced by the other?
Oakland is the Mecca. Everybody know that. It's black as fuck. There's no way you can negate that. Everything else is a trickle down, watered down version of what started in Oakland. All the niggas moved to Oakland in the 60s. And then wherever they migrated to after that, they ended up. But you can tell, even with just fashion, everything, everybody be late based on what we did 10 years ago, 5 years ago. But it ain't nothing bad. It's just, that's just how the Bay is. Like, shit, Oakland always been the Mecca of everything. People want to come to the Bay where they want to go. Oakland. They just want to go to Oakland.
You're not lying. You better rep your city.
I mean, listen.
And you learn so much. Just like when you come to the Bay, and you, especially specifically Oakland, and you meet certain people, because we just so loyal and real. We ain't gonna pigeonhole nothing. We ain't gonna hold you back from nothing. They gonna teach you how to hustle, get money, whatever. That's just in our aura. You always want to see the black man or the black queen win. And I think that's what people like about Oakland. Now, what they don't understand is, you know what I'm saying, the violence, whatever. But that's any ghetto in America. I wouldn't just pigeonhole that to Oakland. That's every ghetto in America. Yeah. But when it comes to actually doing something that's for the advancement of the culture, think about what we talking about here. I'm sitting on the phone just talking about doing independent music. That started here 20, 30 years ago. Yeah. Now everybody doing something that was already innovated here by E40, Too Short, everybody in the 80s. Like,
well, that's just, my dad is from San Francisco, and he was a Black Panther. The Black Panther started in Oakland, and he, you know, so.
Yeah, no, that's for sure what it is. And you know, that I think that's why I'm so intellectual and intuitive. My family was like, you know, by way of the same thing. So it's like, yeah, you have no choice but to be educated. And if you choose not to be a scholar, that's just a choice you make to be ignorant. I don't think there's no way possible for you to be from Oakland as a woman and not be gained up. Obviously, we more alpha. That just comes by nature of the pimping whole culture. Yes. So we're not going to be able to be ran over. But the intellect just comes from the men around you, instilling the power in you to know your worth as a queen. And if you embrace it, you become so much more.
Come on with a word.
Listen.
Come on with a word. How do you feel about branching out and kind of spreading your wings to the other regions of the country? You know, Atlanta has a huge influence on hip hop. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I love Atlanta. Actually, my next maneuvering that I want to do, honestly, nobody's in Atlanta right now. They're all in Miami. So I was just telling my manager, like, I'm about to get a condo in Miami. Future, Thug, everybody, baby, they not in Atlanta. Everybody in Miami. So I just feel like I just got to start moving around because, you know, all these people, they always tell me, like, you need to come fuck with other people. Come fuck with us. Like, we think you're so talented. Like, why you pigeonholing yourself to just the Bay Area or the West Side? You could be so much greater than that. But
Yeah,
really, it was just me trying to understand and learn the game. Like, before I even really just got my feet wet. When I left the label, it was like, shit, you got to learn what's gonna work for you and what's not. And I've learned. So now it's like, all right, turn the fuck up.
for
Do
sure.
what you did before times 100, times 1,000. Because when I
Yeah.
did After Battle all them songs, I was independent. I was
Mm,
just having fun. I still own that project. When I went to 400, YG didn't own nothing that I was doing except for like 4 singles. Still to this day, a lot of people don't know that. That's why I stay ahead because it's like earned all my music, I owned all my music. So it's like shit. When you know that at 24,
yeah.
it's just you different.
Yeah, and it gives you that flexibility to be able to move around and bounce around and try
Yeah.
things without having to be like stuck behind a label and stuff like that. That's fire.
Publishing and all these things that people sell early on, I didn't sell nothing. If I didn't understand the contract, I'm not signing it until I have a better understanding of this. Because what they're gonna do is put the money in front of you and shove the paper. It's like
Mm,
I'm not signing this just because you told me a dollar sign. Like, what is
yeah,
the value of this? Because in
yeah,
the long run, then I could be way more fucked for this one little penny. So
for
I'd rather wait.
yeah. And considering that, unfortunately, because of a lot of our superstars, I always say we come from, a lot of really creative people come from the slums, the ghetto, the
Mm-hmm.
hood. Just because when you don't have nothing, you just start thinking of ideas, and that we just creative in that way. And when you don't have nothing, that big dollar amount sounds so good. It's very predatory the way these labels work, and they know that, and they know they can use our talent for good to make them way more money on the back end, and they
Hmm.
present this beautiful glitz and glamour to a lot of our really amazing creative souls, and then we be fucked in the end.
And it's crazy because it's like you got to give a little something to get something. I feel like you just got to get to the age where you understand what am I willing to offer you in exchange for what I want. Because at
Right.
the end of the day, you're going to have to eventually bow down and give up something.
Have to come
But
off.
it's like, what am I willing to give you? It's like a barter system. What am I willing to give you to give me
Yeah.
something? And when
Yeah.
you're young, you don't know no better. Like you said, a person that take $100,000 think that's life changing. Now understand you can barely even afford to pay for a car with $100,000. So what the fuck is that? You still got rent, you got to feed your family, whatever, and now you stuck in a contract. So
Mm,
whatever music you was putting out rapidly, you can't do that because you got to be on another man's beck and wheel. I don't want to do that.
That
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. What would you consider to be successful in your eyes? Like, what is your measurement of success? Being an independent artist, being someone who is very tied to your city, what is your measurement of success as an
I feel
artist?
like success is having the free will to do what you want and also wake up and just like it's like this, right? If I could get up and decide I want to get on a jet and go to fucking the Maldives, I feel like you successful. Cause
Mm,
at that point, anything you do, you making money, and you ain't gotta get up and do too much to get it. Like that's what my measurement is. It's like everybody's success is different, and I'm not willing to do what somebody else is willing to do to get what they want. So I'm like, until I'm able to just wake up and not financially feel the burden of anything I'm doing, I ain't successful.
right.
That's my freedom. Financial freedom is freedom.
No, dead ass.
And there's no real dollar amount to what that is for each individual. Because some people may feel like 500,000 is financial freedom. Some people might feel like 20 million, but it's like shit. Me, I want to be able to just get up what I want and do what I want to do, and it don't affect me. I can pay my taxes. I can do whatever. It don't affect me.
Yeah.
What's your favorite project that you've done? Like, it doesn't have to be based on popularity, but in terms of like where you draw inspiration, like what was your favorite project that you were like, oh, I loved doing this or making this?
I feel like I can't think of the name of that damn project. I always get fucked up with this damn name of this project, but it's when I got on like the blue, the hue was blue, and
Is
I
it
did it during the pandemic. I feel like that's when I was having fun, huh?
were you looking into the sky?
Nah, I had like 2 champagne bottles, and I was like pouring them. It was
Mm,
like 2020 when I dropped it. But that's like one of my favorite projects. I just felt like I was just having fun. It wasn't like my normal sound. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't go into it with no attention. And then like I just dropped the project in December that I feel like that was fun too because it wasn't my normal sound. It was more alternative.
Okay.
oh, no explanations.
That shit. I always get that name mixed. I'm like, what is the name of this shit? But that's the trauma. When you go through hella shit in the business, like certain
I
shit,
was
your
gonna
brain
say,
just
if
blanks.
you even like scroll your Apple Music, you have a lot of projects on here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I can definitely see you keeping it based on like cover art and not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah, nah. I be trying to make
Yeah.
each cover actually make sense. You know,
Yeah.
I look back at people art like, let's say 2 years from now, maybe 9 months from now, you never know, right? I've hit big. I got a record that takes over the nation and the world, whatever. A motherfucker gonna look back at everything you've ever done So what is your digital blueprint? What is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you leave? And I feel like when people look back at my shit, they're like, oh, this portfolio actually looks good. The artist act, and that's what my biggest thing is, to always leave some legendary shit. I don't want no chicken shit ass. A nigga drew a cartoon ass cover. Like, I don't want that shit.
I really like when artists think about like that piece of it,
Yeah.
because the overall arching, like, does this imagery relate to the sound? Like a lot of times, like especially in hip hop, I think that we've gotten so far away from that piece of it, and you just want to flex the chain. It's like, this don't have nothing to do with what
You're not talking about
like,
that
you
in
know,
the song.
I don't get how this relates.
Where's the artistry? Where is the creative development? You know, where is the
art
A&R?
development?
It no longer exists. The label just deleted it, and then everybody narcissistic.
Can't control the crowd. Can't don't have no breath control.
Yeah, and
we in the era of narcissists. You gotta think about it. If a nigga is 20 years old and can make $20 million, what can you tell him? You come up instantly.
Yeah.
There's no way possible that you can stop them from growing. It's like they gonna keep thinking that they better than what they are. But the number one thing I hear every artist say this day, I don't matter if it's a hip hop, whatever, is I don't need no stylist. It's like, actually, you fucking do. You should probably hire a
The
stylist.
main thing I said when I got money, I was gonna get was a damn stylist.
Yeah.
I never
it helps you.
like I was the most.
Yeah.
I have followed the trends.
Yeah. I say all the time, there's power in recognizing your strengths and weaknesses. And even though you may be, you know, super good, is she still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
My bad. People keep texting and calling this phone.
Just making sure, you know, a lot of people think because they know how to like put on an outfit to go out to a party or to out to an event that they're able to do these things. And it's like there's something that changes once you enter into a certain level. You are now a brand in and of itself. You are an entity. You are not just you and you alone. And I can always tell the difference of the newcomers when they think farther through. Like we talked about Doechii as an example. I can see her thinking a couple steps ahead. I'm not going to just do something simple. I'm going to think a couple steps ahead. I want me as a brand to be recognizable. I want this project I want you to hear it and be like, oh, that's Kamaiyah. You know what I'm saying? I want you to hear it and see it and know that that's me, and all of those things. And it takes a team. And I think a lot of people are, I don't know what it is. You spoke on it being narcissism. A lot of people are afraid to expand their team and to bring people up with them. Like, utilize your resources and utilize your people around you who have expertise in certain elements so that y'all can all level up together.
No real shit.
You know?
I agree for sure. I just feel like these kids just, you can't tell them shit. They'd rather go spend $250,000 on the chain instead of a proper marketing and hiring a proper team. That's just what they're gonna do.
And
I've been there and done that, so I can't really judge them too much. When you young, you don't know no better.
Yeah. We'll see what happens later. And I guess that brings me to my next question. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Well, we'll start with 5.
Rich as fuck. Honestly. Not even on no extra out shit. Like, I feel like I deserve so much more, and I feel like I'm a master manifester. And it's like, if you could come from absolutely nothing with piss on the stairs and foster care to living in a lake house, there's no limit to what else you should be doing. Like, I want Grammys, obviously. Yeah. I want to do film. I want to be in movies. I want to just expand my career. Honestly, I want to get to a point where it's like, I don't come out unless I got to come outside. I want to be like Missy. When I'm on stage, you paying me $800,000 plus just to be here. I don't want just doing this shit for 10 to 50,000. That shit's lame. Like, nah. Yeah. I'm getting older. I want to have a family. I want to kick back. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be away from my family all the time. So it's like my main objective is really just to be hella successful in the next 5 years. Build my catalog, have 500 plus songs, and be an A-list artist.
Are you period? Are you doing anything specific right now to do things like be on film? I know we just saw SZA in Just One of Them Days.
So I was doing a movie that's very similar to that. I had a role with Boots Riley, but I honestly fucked it up. My cousin got shot at Summer Jam, and I didn't turn my tape in time, but he personally requested me for the role, and it was with Keke Palmer, ironically. So when that movie came out, they was like, "This is the role you auditioned for." I'm like, "Nah, it's a whole nother movie." They shooting in the Bay with Keke. Yeah. So I've been trying to make my way to Ryan Coogler and build a relationship with him, because I feel like if I sit with Boots or Ryan and actually build a relationship with them, and they teach me the game, or go sit with Tasha Smith, I feel like it'll make it a lot easier for me to walk into the acting.
Ryan
And
and
those,
Tasha
I was gonna say,
those
those are the type of people that have around you who they would build a role around.
Absolutely.
They would do something
They're
like where it's
amazing.
like, oh yeah, I know who I want for that, and and that leads me to another point. I think that sometimes we, especially as Black people, and specifically Black people as in California, we think that we have to like network up. And Issa Rae always talks about like networking across. Like you don't know the people on your level who's sitting next to you who can put you on in that way. You also don't know where the fuck they're about to go either.
Not real shit. That's why you respect everybody.
Yeah, or even just pulling people below, where you're at, like people who are, they may not have something out just yet, and it's being in the film industry is, it's tough, and it's all about, please just trust. I swear to God, I can do good. It's all about just know on God I got it in me, and it's all about, kind of building that rapport with people. And we're definitely in a new wave. I can tell you that for facts. Just looking at the podcast space, looking at the influencer marketing, looking at the newer singers and rappers that are coming out. There's a new wave and the tides are shifting, and I think people are interested in just seeing new faces in so many different realms. Yep. So I think, you tapping into film and television will be so tea.
Really refreshing.
Yeah.
Because people are like, not that you're tired of seeing the same people, but we've been seeing the same people, especially the same Black people in shit for 10 years. Like,
not real shit.
I'm like, no funny shit. Like people want to see new faces. Like that's the whole thing. You say you about to have new faces, and it's.
That's how P Valley worked. People was like, this is something different.
Yeah, that exactly.
Like everybody on that show damn near was like getting breakout roles, except for Tyler Lippe. He came from the Tyler Perry show.
Yeah, they specifically chose independent artists and pulled music for them for that show as well. Like even things like that, I admire when people take those little steps, because they could have easily gotten any major, artist to drop music for that. But pulling those underground artists, allowing people to submit their own music for this next season, like things like that is stuff that I appreciate, because it's like, it's really hard when you are a newcomer into the film industry, because it's so shut out. It's not, you can't go on Indeed.com and apply to be an actor.
No, you gotta get with the right people and really sit with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or make a shake for yourself. And like how, like Jamila has a film production company where, they obviously make TV shows and whatnot, but things like Tubi, things like YouTube, obviously we're on TikTok. I always encourage everyone to utilize these social media forums, because they are literally your best friend. Like people are getting discovered, and even not just getting discovered, people are having like new revitalization to their careers.
Like, not real shit. That's how Issa got
like, YouTube series. The song that Glorilla hopped on, that song came out in high school.
Yeah, they said
like, and mind you, I'm finna be 29, and I remember when the song came out. I'm like, this song is hella old, but mind you, it's the Cali's like the whole country don't know this song.
Yeah.
I can't even think of the name of that song right now.
All that talking about
murder. You talking about LeBron that was signed to he was signed to E40. Yeah, that's when I heard it, when he was signed to E40.
Yeah, and I was actually just talking to my brother. My brother also does music, so we were literally talking about how Darrington was saying more so, and the nigga's real for like being like, yeah, hop on this old ass song, because sometimes people get so much in their pride that they're like, nah, that's old. I wouldn't like
art doesn't have an expiration date though. When you paint a picture, if a motherfucker see it in the gallery, they ain't gonna be like, oh, you painted this in 1950. They gonna just buy that motherfucker.
Nobody care when the Mona Lisa was
back. Same shit with music. Like I feel like if a song was recorded in 1997 and it has a resurgence, who the fuck is you to tell me that I can't go get Summer Walker on this R&B record for the 90s?
And that's what makes art so special. Like, I remember discovering Michael Jackson at 5. Like, obviously that nigga was 40 then. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was so much for me, but it was still new to me, and I was able to go back and listen to it like with fresh ears. Like having music transcend generations, like that's what's actually important. Actually having kids find some shit that your parents and your grandparents can put you onto, and it still hit like hot grits. Like that is something super special, and I admire people for being able to kind of go back and kind of have these keepsakes of music. Like that's really what it's about, honestly.
No, real shit.
Yeah. Well, this has been really great. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.
You too, likewise.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna get one more little video for our little tiki talk. Hold on. I'm gonna be hella corny. It's Kamaiyah. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
We're gonna send this to our producer so she can kind of chop it up and edit it. I don't know the exact date it'll be out, but of course we'll send it through release and she'll let you know. But seriously, this has been so amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a very special episode of Unhinged, and then more you guys can catch.
And I'm gonna stop talking shit about Oakland.
Yeah, I feel like you got a vendetta with Oakland. Oakland niggas broke your heart, nigga.
You see how I shut my ass up when she said, "Oh, no."
I'm actually surprised you didn't bring up Keisha Cole.
I feel like she dated a nigga from Oakland, so he tore your ass up or something.
It's honestly really because you know how that goes. Like people from the Bay, and then I moved to Sacramento when I was 5, so I have a very big vendetta against people from Sacramento, like myself, who moved when they were 5, but still swear to God they're from dumbass East Oakland. So that's like really grinds my gears. That's one thing.
But I'm telling you why, it's because Oakland is just the mecca. It's like black.
It just goes for like anywhere in the Bay Area, and then also the whole this is very local. The whole Sacramento want to be the Bay. It's like, I mean, I was in the Bay every other weekend because my parents got divorced, and like, I mean, I'm not saying it's the same, but it's really not that much different. I don't know why everyone's trying to funk.
It's just slower. It's like the country.
I was gonna say. So the thing is, and the other part is, are you gonna act like all the niggas don't come down to Sacramento every weekend and try and choose a bitch? Like, what are we talking about? Like,
I just think culturally, it's just the culture is different.
Richmond, all of it. It's just like, oh my God, all the beef. But then I have, in my older age, I have just realized, first of all, the people who be pushing the narratives don't even be black. And I'm not even gonna argue with y'all. I'm sorry.
That's where the conversation
I'm not gonna argue with the Mexicans or the Polynesians about none of that shit. Sorry. Love y'all too, but no.
Nah, you ain't wrong.
Let me stop this recording. Let you say something else.